Skål! Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another rum review, and as I said in the last video, this one is a little bit extra special than usually. It's this one. Can you see? I'm gonna try and pronounce this right. Compagnies des Indes, something like that. Yeah, it's 5-year-old, it's Navy strength, and it's a Jamaican rum. Let me just look at all my notes here. I have quite a lot of notes about this one. It costs 550 Danish crowns for 70 centiliters. That is about 45 pounds, maybe $50 or euros, give or take a little bit. As I said, it is Navy strength, which means that it is 57% alcohol, so very, very high ABV. The reason for that it's called Navy strength is back in the old days with the Imperial English Navy, rum and any other liquor, spirits coming onto the boats had to be at least 57% alcohol. So that's the reason for the Navy strength expression. Unfortunately, it is chill filtered, and unfortunately, it is artificially colored. The aging, it says 5-year-old, and the aging has primarily, I couldn't find out if it was only in ex-bourbon cask, but at least I know it's primarily in ex-bourbon cask. This one is put together with rum from 4 different distilleries in Jamaica, and it was put together by the independent bottling company, which was called Compagnies des Indes or something like that. I hope I'm saying it close to correct. Yeah, so they have rum from 4 different Jamaican distilleries, and they put it together to make this. This one is kind of a celebration of the old Imperial English Navy, and again 57% is the reason for the name Navy strength. I think, yeah, that's it. That's the notes. I think it's quite light, so I don't think there's too much color in here. There's no sponsored content in this video, and as always, everything on this channel is just my opinion. So, as I always do with these very high ABV, I nose it and take a very small sip. And then after that, I add water. I have water here. So, this beautiful, beautiful Luigi Bormioli glass. I just love these glasses. The leg on this is very, very light. There's almost no leg. Medium. Medium leg. Color, as I said, light amber. Very powerful. But actually not, there's sharpness there, but not a lot of sharpness. Which is interesting. Of course, you can sense and you can smell the alcohol and you can feel it in the nose. But it's not a sharpness. It's not really sharp. So the aromas are very, and this is probably because of the high ABV. The alcohol probably takes over. The aromas is faint and very gentle. There's not a lot of sweetness there, although there is a little bit of sweetness. Yeah, vanilla, honey sweetness, definitely. But there's also some nuts and some dried fruits there. And a weird, how can I explain this? Sometimes when you buy new stuff, you know, electronics, something made of plastic or rubber, but only the new ones, when you open the box, it has a distinguished smell. I don't know if some people might, when I buy a new controller for my PlayStation, the smell when I open the box is here a little bit. It's very weird. I've never smelled that in rum or any other spirits. Almost like fresh rubber or plastic, or yeah. That's really very weird. It's not a bad smell. It's just a weird smell for rum. I actually like the smell because it associates with new stuff. Don't know if I'm making any sense. I hope you know what I mean. Now for the small sip. Skål. Wow. The sip was very small. So, but there's almost no sharpness there. It's more like a warmth. And it's buttering my mouth, and it's mouth-watering as crazy as hell. There's definitely honey sweetness there, a little bit of vanilla. And just a creamy, buttery sense. I didn't really get a lot of flavors. It's quite amazing, actually. Let me just add some water to see. The reason for the water, for those of you who don't know, that sometimes, maybe even a lot of times, when you add water to darker liquor, it kind of sets free a lot more aromas and a lot more flavors, and the taste becomes more powerful and sometimes a lot better. Plus you take down the ABV a little bit, so the alcohol doesn't have power over the flavors. So that's why you do it. You don't have to do it if you like it better without. Just don't put any in. And as I always say, only add a little, because you can always add more. You can't take out what you've added. Yeah. So what I had here was about a centiliter of rum, and what I added was like a tenth or 10 or 20% of an centiliter, and just kind of let it marry together. Just kind of let it mix together. Don't irritate it too much. It's okay to swirl it around a little bit, but don't, shake it. All of this, again, is just my opinion on the way. This is the way that I like to do it, right? If you think something else is better, something else tastes better, if something else gives you a better experience, do whatever. There's absolutely no sharpness now, which is quite amazing, because this is definitely more than 50% alcohol still. And it's the same flavors as before, only not as much sweetness, but it's still there. Some kind of caramel, honey sweetness, and a little bit of vanilla. But that weird, fresh rubber or plastic smell is there even more than before. It's so weird, actually. It's very, very weird. It doesn't smell bad or anything. It's just you have to really get used to it. There's also dried fruits there. There's also a little bit of nuts. Yeah. Skål. This is a very, very good rum, in my opinion. 450 Danish crowns is a bargain. You really, really, really get a lot of worth for your money here. So if you come across this with rum, I highly recommend buying it. It has warmth, and the palate is gentle with some honey caramel sweetness with a little bit of that rubbery feel to it, and tiny hints of dried fruits and nuts. The finish is powerful and long and has a lot of warmth. It has those same flavors, honey, caramel sweetness, and that rubbery thing. And then it also has a little bit of, that's just what I'm getting, spicy oak, but just tiny hints of it. It's mouth covering, mouth watering, and it just warms your body. Yeah. Really, really good. Really, really good. And something completely different than what I'm used to from rums, because of that rubbery plastic thing to it, combined with all the other flavors. And it's not a lot of sweetness. There's not a lot of sweetness. It's the first thing, that's the sweetness, but it's gentle and toned down, so there's room for all the other things going on here. The finish, sorry, also has a little bit of, the palate is actually very, very gentle. The finish has a little bit of maybe citrus, a little bit of sourness to it, which actually makes it even more interesting because of all of those that sweet flavor with that sour stuff. It's very, very good. Normally, I don't take the price into consideration when rating rum and whiskey and beer, and I'm not going to today. But if I were to take it into consideration, I would give it 9.5 because it's very, very cheap. But I'm only looking into flavors and aromas and the feel of the rum. I'm not thinking as much about the price when I rate it. So for me, this rum is a 9. I'm putting the Compagnies, this Indes, at a 9. So very good rum, and especially if you take the price into consideration. This video got to be a little bit longer than what I actually wanted, so sorry for that. Hope you don't mind it. If you like it though, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with friends and family. Also, leave a comment down below. That would really mean a lot to me. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and maybe hit that bell button so you don't miss out on future videos. Also, please check out my Instagram account. It is Dunkeren_. If you like what you see there, give me a follow. Next videos coming next week. I hope I will be able to do all three. I have 3 Nikka Japanese whiskeys here. I'll be doing them next week. If you want to see what kind of Nikkas, you just kind of have to follow. Keep an eye out for the videos. Thank you for watching, and have an absolutely wonderful Sunday. Bye bye.